Question 4. If you could spend 1 year in perfect happiness, but afterward would remember nothing of the experience, would you do so? If not, why not? And there's a follow-up in the back of the book to this one. Which is more important, actual experiences or the memories that remain when the experiences are over? Which I would say is actually something of a rephrase of the original question. But anyway, if I could spend 1 year in perfect happiness, yes, I would, because it's 1 year, a whole year in perfect happiness. Now it says, would you do so? Suggesting that in advance I know that it's going to be a year of perfect happiness and that I have the choice. Which in reality is, well, that's not going to happen, is it? But let's just imagine, just go with it, just go with the supernatural pretense of this question, that for some reason I am completely convinced that it really will be a whole year and one of perfect happiness. Well then, yes, I'll do it because it's a year of perfect happiness. So yes, I would choose to do it. But why would I not do? Well, that's implied in the question, afterward would remember nothing of the experience. Well, why would that put me off? You know, being happy is the important thing. I think this is a bit of a modern disease. There are people, I think, who do things for a very bad reason, and that is to tell other people. A number of people I've seen, they've spent a fortune to go to some concert or whatever, and they take loads of selfies of themselves and post them on Instagram and Facebook and those things. And I wonder, would those people have paid all that money and travelled all that way to go to that if they couldn't tell anyone else that they'd been to that concert? I think a lot of these people wouldn't. It's actually a good test. Should you spend a lot of money to go to a concert? Because you've got the CD already, and the concert's going to be an awful lot of expense and time to get there, and you'll be miles from the stage. The people on the stage will be like that, and the sound is not actually going to be the greatest quality. So maybe you're not really going to have all that much fun, and there are going to be people around you talking during all the good bits and spoiling it, and then you'll want to go to the loo, and you know, maybe it won't be that great an experience, frankly, going to this concert, but if you can tell everyone, hey, I've been to this concert and look at me being really happy, click at this concert, and you somehow get Facebook points for doing that, that's not a good reason to go to a concert. That's not a good reason to do anything. If you're wondering whether you should do a thing or not, I would say, ask yourself the question, if it were actually somehow physically impossible ever to tell anyone else that I'd done this thing, do I still want to do it? And if the answer is no, don't do it, because you're not doing it for yourself. You're not actually doing it to enjoy yourself and to get something out of it yourself. You're just doing it to please others. So don't. That's a good test. There you go. You get that for free. And admittedly, in this question, it's not quite the same thing. It's not whether I can tell other people. It's whether I myself will remember. But it's not so very different. Being happy is the most important thing. So if I can be happy for a year, yeah, I'd be happy for a year. At the end of the year, presumably I'd be fine. Nothing in this question suggests that after the year I then live in torment. There's no drawback of that sort mentioned. I don't find that someone else has moved into my flat and auctioned off all my stuff because I've been presumed dead. Presumably I've carried on living, other people are aware that I'm living, and I've been having a really great time. And at the end of it, I've still got all my stuff, still live, you know, in this flat, and everything's fine. It's just I can't remember what I've done for the last year. But then that would be quite interesting, wouldn't it? I get to talk to people. I've looked at this email. Apparently, we had a weekend in York, you and I, about 4 months ago. You have to forgive me, I'm a complete blank. So what happened there? And then I can get to relive it and find out stuff. And then perhaps all these people that I've been in the company of for a year, they've seen me at my happiest. And they'll be remembering stuff. Oh yeah, and you did this, and then this happened, and then you said this, and I thought, wow, why did you say that? No, not many people say that sort of thing. And then you did this, and it was so much fun, and we all had this. They'll all be happy. I'll be making other people happy, I hope, and so that's another good reason to live in perfect happiness, because it will enable me to make other people happy, and then I can relive some of it, finding it out about it afterwards. For me, yeah. The answer to this one is yes. Actually, this puts me in mind of something else. Really, the number of times I've had this nurture-nature debate with people, and the people who think that nurture people are evil and wrong, one of the arguments they put is that they actually positively want their life experiences to define who they are, and nothing else. They want to be the product of nurture and not nature. So if they have a really terrible childhood, That means they sort of want to be screwed up and unhappy for the rest of their lives, and they'll have something to blame it on. But wouldn't it be better to just have a naturally sunny disposition and be fine as an adult despite having had a rubbish childhood? And here's the thing. They talk as though the point of having a good childhood is so that you turn out to be a nice adult. But no, surely the point of having a good childhood is having a good childhood. It's just part of your life. You give children a good childhood because you're giving them part of a good life. That's all the motive you should need to give a child a good childhood. You shouldn't be giving a child a good childhood solely for the purpose of getting this child to turn into a great adult. Yeah, if they have a good adulthood, that's good. Good childhood, that's good as well, because having a good life is important. So yeah, a year in perfect happiness, please.